We have the Bomb Squad versus Tile Roomies here in this race with Adirondack Rick and Sinek representing the Bomb Squad versus Kappa and Jay Meisher for the Tile Roomies. This is the second game of their series where Tile Roomies won their first match in a very, very close race. I think was within a, looks like 30 seconds or so time. So looking forward to this race. Should be really, really great to see. I am Homemade Beer, and I'm here joined by my Indium. My Indium, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, Beer Man, I am doing well, and hopefully we're going to have a great final game of Week 1 of this Season 4 of Link to the Past Randomizer League on tap for you here in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, really excited for this one.
Sounds like Game 1 really lived up to the hype. Hopefully we're going to get something that is every bit as good. This co-op info share mode, all dungeons required.
Yeah, fun mode, interesting mode, you know. Gotta do Aga no matter what, so if it turns out to be an Aga seed, you don't feel bad gambling on it early. Same with the pedestal, you know, if you have to pull it, well, that's fine, because you have to clear all the pendant dungeons anyway.
It looks like everybody's off here, yep, and we had Adirondack Rick almost trying to leave behind that money there in the poor box in the Sanctuary. Our top runners starting Sank, our bottom runners with the Uncle start.
Yeah, Jay Meisher getting lucky on the first kill with the enemy prize pack being a full magic refill, and then getting a tier 1 tree pool with a small magic refill. So early game, these runners are looking for bombs, so these magics are kind of nice, but not super helpful.
Looks like we have 20 bucks coming off of the Hoarder, and Sinak did find 3 bombs off the Uncle, which Jay Meisher is just picking up now.
Cool. Yeah, very nice way to start. Looks like both teams checking Lumberjack early.
Yeah, one of those ways that you can divide and conquer a little bit in co-op. You go up there, you see that it's just 20 bucks, but now you can cast it out of your mind. You're gonna have to kill Aga eventually, but when that time comes, you don't have to worry about whether or not the boots are on your feet.
Yeah, definitely seeing a lot of 20 so far. It's kind of funny the bottom 2 players having the bombs don't have to farm any at the 50-50 bushes here. Speaking of red 20s.
It's red 20s everywhere in the early going, and our top runners get their first set of bombs. They're growing in the mushroom spot. Everybody going to have plenty of bombs for the village without having to go out of their way.
More red 20s and more bombs. So it looks like Kappa saves and quit out of the forest. Says, you know, I'm done with this. I'll let my partner clear out the village and come back later if I need anything. But decides to go grab some extra bombs and gonna go start looking at other stuff around Hyrule.
Plenty of other things to go and see, like, say, that book on Hylia Island.
Yeah, how'd that get there? Oh, look, flippers. Now we can go grab it later, once we get to the Dark World.
Yeah, I'm still gonna need that Dark World Access care package to come together. Gonna need a mirror as well, but, you know, now you know the book is there. What might it mean?
Hey, look, more red 20s. Nice start so far. And a fire rod, okay.
Fire rod a little more interesting. Could put the boss of Eastern Palace into logical play, provided a bow happens to turn up between now and then.
Yeah, pretty dead Kakariko today. Kind of worked out really well for the Tile Roomies to just leave. Hey, look, there's our second mail upgrade, so most likely we'll be getting red mail for all players in this race today.
Plenty of early safety available, but no hearts. We were talking about how empty the village was, but there's Jay Meisher picking up our first sword of the game off of the bottle vendor.
Yeah, nobody finding anything. Kappa deciding, you know, I guess the next best play is why not dip Eastern. Looks like our first map check. I think I just saw 3 regular crystals. If I
Yeah,
saw that right.
I didn't see anything different. We have 2 wonderful trackers with eyes on this evening. Mindful Beast and Yoinker's Wife hopefully caught that just in case we're wrong.
Yeah, nice sync from our bottom runners here. It's very tight on, you know, finding everything. Early Big Key in Eastern is starting to say what you described, what you mentioned earlier about that fire rod potentially putting the boss in logic.
Still short the bow for the moment, but there's nothing preventing that from being in its vanilla dungeon.
Yeah, we see Adirondack Rick taking that fire rod and deciding to go do the front of escape. Did he have enough cash to get the sword, or did he not? Was he not in Kakariko at the time?
He definitely had cash, and he was definitely in the village.
Yeah, sometimes
And
our
Sinek
tracking
has
software doesn't catch up as quickly as the our wonderful trackers can push the buttons.
It does from time to time like to eat their inputs. It is a hungry tracker.
And a lamp in Eastern. Okay, game.
So now the big key location is in logic, because why not?
It's always fun to see these kind of things, right? Right. And a moon pearl. Nice seed so far.
So we've got one sword, we have a lamp, we have a moon pearl, another sword, or the cape, and all of a sudden we're talking about Aga for Dark World access.
That's true, isn't it? Yeah. And Mini Moldorm Cave coming up with some more red 20s. And a bug net. Okay, we got the bug net.
That might be go mode for certain other runners, but I think the runners we actually have today are going to be looking for a few more things yet.
And another red 20. Oh, Rick taking a death here. That's not intentional. He meant to get the chest before getting the green guard to poke him in the eye there.
Got a little too greedy setting up that death warp on Blue Mail and is now going to get to walk all the way back.
And meanwhile, we're getting to see Ice Rod Cave and the mushroom turn in here from our bottom 2 runners.
Yet another one of those red 20s, and the sticks in Ice Rod Cave, neither of those particularly interesting. Jay Mish are going to go ahead and save scum that mushroom.
Yeah, I think we're pretty close to finding every red 20 in the game. We have to be, right?
It sure feels that way, but then, you know, so many of them were coming off the hoarders that we kind of have saturation on red 20s on the brain, even though we haven't really opened all that many checks yet.
Yeah, and we're seeing Kappa heading into escape, which is kind of funny. He only has bombs at the moment, whereas his partner here has swords, fire rods, all the other things that make this a little bit easier. But, you know, being able to just go through and do a bomb escape is something you definitely know how to do if you've played this game as much as these runners have, considering that in a standard start, you would have to learn this.
Surprise, surprise, we found another sword. It was on Sinak's side in the waterfall.
Yeah, those flippers put that in logic, and now we are basically can just go to Aga, I suppose. To go to pod, I guess.
Well, you never know. We have the flippers. Maybe we also find the hookshot. That seems to be the way Rando likes to roll more often than not.
Yeah, that's true, and it looks like he found a bottle as well, so can take that to go see what our sick kid has. Pretty empty start for a seed.
When you get this little, you kind of feel like the seed is just screaming AGA at you. I wouldn't be surprised to see all of these runners converging there in the very near future.
Yeah, definitely. And interesting here that we see Adirondack Rick going into the Dark Cross Room, which to the Bomb Squad is in logic with just the Fire Rod, but, you know, even though we have the lamp, we know that it's actually fully in logic. Gets nothing there, so just finds the map, so saves and quits, leaves, and is going to move on.
One of those checks that you get to scratch off the list and your partner doesn't have to go do.
Yeah, interesting to see there was nothing in the front of Escape, and we saw save and quits from both of our top runners here to just go check these things in the back. But you know, I can see an argument for if the runners want to save scum a key and potentially look for a glove back there. But at this point, it's pretty clear that, you know, we're supposed to go do AGA at some point. Given that there's literally nothing else we can do unless we find a glove to get us up the mountain for 2 more checks, or, you know, something else.
Yeah, I think the glove really would be the big outstanding possibility. Get into the back of Escape, get up the mountain for a couple of checks. That's about the only way you're looking at getting around the AGA play at this point. We've seen just about everything.
Looks like our vision was way off, but Eastern was a red crystal, Hera was a pendant. So, not what I saw earlier.
Well, that's why we have the trackers. They're the ones who get to keep us honest.
Indeed. This is gonna end up being kind of awkward. Jamie sure finding. Well, I guess the flippers were in Kakariko, now that I think about it. So Kappa couldn't even have gone here to get the bottle before Kak. So we're getting pretty close to full clearing at this point. Does Jamie sure have money for Zora?
That looks like 101, so I think not. Even if it's a 2 or a 3, it's definitely not a 5.
We get Sinak checking out what's on Desert Ledge here. This is interesting. We didn't see this earlier. It's just 3 bombs.
I guess one of those things, you've seen the book, you wonder, well, these flippers, I've already got them. If I get the mirror, am I supposed to grab that book and come over here really quick?
Yeah, so now...
It appears to be no, unless the item is in Desert.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like Jamie should, you know, going into Eastern, probably grab his lamp and moon pearl and then peace out. He knows what else is in there, which is nothing. Whereas Kappa just needs to get his sword, flippers, and then grab the other sword in Waterfall. And most likely, we're going to see all 4 runners doing AGA at pretty much the same time.
That does appear to be the upshot of it when you have to full clear the light world to find out that all you get to do is AGA.
Yeah, fun times. These seeds aren't the best co-op seeds, because we know there's not much you can do once you get to the Dark World, except in this case seems like go to Pod.
And it looks like pretty much everybody's at least going to have the pod money available to them. I have a little pixelization on Jamie Sher's rupee count, but I think that's 101, so he might be in a slightly tight spot. Maybe we'll see the Eastern Palace rupee room here.
That's a good point, yeah. He won't have enough money to go to Pod, like you just said.
Of course, again, not unlike what Kappa's doing here, you can just go ahead and grab those red 20s off the hoarder anytime you want.
Yeah, very true. Looks like Kappa's farming for Zora.
I was about to say that self-same thing. It looks like Kappa is looking for Zora money here really quick.
Yeah, that makes sense too, since he hasn't gone up to the area. He's going to make sure he has enough for Pod afterwards too, it seems.
looks like Adirondack Rick is heading in that same general direction.
Yeah, 520 rupees. Doesn't want to get messed up by not having enough money for pod as well.
As GFE's pointing out in chat, very nice water portal use there by Kappa to go from point A, being where all the money could be farmed, to point B, the Zora area. And Jamie's are going to be the first of our runners into the Aga climb.
This is actually kind of working out well for them because, you know, I mean, let's face it, we're all about to see Aga here. But Jamie sure getting in there early allows them to get an advantage of like, okay, let's get to pod, start finding the things, and then gets to tell Kappa where they are, so that he can just run in, grab a couple quick things that are needed, and then move on. And they can hopefully they find enough things to kind of split up the checks beyond this.
The Zora Lord being spend 500 to gain back only 50.
Yep. Well, now we know the answer.
That is a bit of a tight spot for Adirondack Rick, who does not have pod money.
Yeah, I don't know. The best choice here is to maybe hope that there's some cash on the pyramid or something else, that maybe our answer is just on the pyramid and he can go and move on, do other things like a hook shot. But I forgot, no, tree pulls were just magic. I don't think we saw any tier 2 tree pulls, but maybe he gets lucky. There is that tree pull that is just on the base of the pyramid on the left side, so he could try that out and see if that's enough.
Yep, it's an option, or maybe something on the climb is in the rupee pool and can find 20 and pick up a few fivers along the way. Well, the ball and chain guards are in said rupee pool, but not picking up money here.
Yeah, I know there's what, like 10 or 15 rupees in the climb besides the, you know, guard pools, but not enough to get into pod when you only have 70 bucks going into Aga Tower.
No, Adirondack Rick is definitely going to have to find a few extra rupees somewhere. Everybody else is in good shape for getting in, but maybe. Mishur is 3 short, 3 ought to be findable somewhere.
Yeah. Alright, so Fun Seed, we are in the Aga fight. How many blue balls are we expecting today, do you think?
Probably 2. 2, maybe 3.
Makes sense. The statistically likely answer. I dig it. Ooh, Adirondack Rick has to be a little careful. It has only 1 heart. I mean, he is on red mail, but...
Not the first time this seed that Adirondack Rick has found himself in a low health situation.
You know, I forgot to count. I don't know how many blue balls we've had.
No, I got looking over at the beep strats in the top left-hand corner and stopped counting entirely.
Yeah, pretty much same thing here. Ooh, gets hit by the bat, does 1/10 of a heart of damage or something. Up to 83 rupees now, so getting closer, but still, you know, 30 bucks somewhere is not a free find if you don't know that the enemies are dropping rupees.
Probably hoping to see something like a 50 on the pyramid ledge at this point.
Yeah, which is, like, in some ways what you really don't want to see, but, you know, for Adirondack Rick, it would be actually really useful.
Speaking of, Mishur is going to show us what's there, and it is a piece of heart. That is not
Ooh, boy.
the salvation that Rick is going to be looking for. So 3 simultaneous Aga fights while Misha runs over towards Pod and is still 3 rupees short.
Yeah, Jay Misher got there early. Good for him. You know, this is really good for someone to get there as soon as possible. If you're starting to get like the Agaseed vibes, like just get there as fast as you can and just start scouting ahead. You know, it's kind of fun on these co-op races. You know, you can imagine you talking to your teammates. Oh, it looks like it was 180 rupees.
Yeah, that might have been 180
okay.
rather than. All right, so Jay Misher in fine shape.
But yeah, I was about to say, just, you know, you're talking to your partner on this instead of like, okay, let's do this. Like, what's here? Da da da. Explaining all the checks. It's like, okay, well, let's go do Aga. I'll, you know, come back in about 4 minutes and we can start chatting again. And the flute, the only thing in pod.
All right, so logical mountain access for 2 checks, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, game. Hey, Sinek picking up the piece of heart does get a full refill, so up to 5 hearts here. And would you look at that? Tier 2 tree pulls at the base of the pyramid for 80 bucks. Rick is bailed out.
That is exactly the kind of thing he needed to find.
Yeah, good on him too, showing off the bit of game knowledge to know that that tree pull exists.
Misha with the potion camera unlock here is going to pull these mimics off screen, and the door will open because, well, if they're off screen, they have to be dead. That's what the game thinks, anyway.
I mean, makes sense to me. You know what's funny was Jamie sure just got a fairy drop from the blueberry and has a bug net, so could have put it in the bottle. But his next move after coming back here for the keys, well, I guess there was a heart there, which is actually even more funny, is to die. So grabbing the fairy is actually kind of useless. So the rest of the items in the front are keys, and that red mail being kind of funny here too.
Maybe an advantage to not having found all that many hearts yet. We're still very much in Death Warp territory with no mirror in hand yet.
So what do you think if we go in here and find that you know, it looks like Kappa grabbing the flute and leaving, so they can. You got to split up checks somewhere, right? This is supposed to be co-op, not everybody just follow each other in a circle.
Yeah, especially since it's completely bow locked. You have no bow. You have no eyes on a bow yet. It makes a lot of sense to go ahead and take the flute, see what the logical part of the progression chain is supposed to be, while somebody else goes ahead and does all of the analogic things here.
Yeah, for sure. I'm kind of like laughing here, thinking about, you know, he's gonna go to village, find that sick kid had a glove all along, and the hammer was just in the back of his cape, along with the boots.
That would be fairly brutal.
That's not gonna happen, but you know, it'd be pretty funny to see. Got a boomerang on Jay Mishra's side.
Not a terrible thing to have. We can find out what the stun prize is. It may have some value to us.
Rick getting all the fairies to give him health and cannot do the push camera unlock unless he loses some health here. And just a piece of heart.
Took not 1 but 2 bomb explosions to actually get the hit points down a half.
So far, it seems like pod's empty, except for that flute.
Come in, get your flute, go away, come back in go mode later is kind of what it feels like, but we've still got a couple of checks left.
Yeah, we get a sword, which is nice, but I mean, you know, I'm sure all the runners will pick that up. But not progression at the moment. And a nice rod, okay.
Again, not really unlocking anything for our runners right now, but nice to have in the back pocket for later.
Yeah, no ice rod hunt, I suppose. And more bombs. So we have 1 check left in the entire game, and that is the inside of Spectacle Rock. And all runners know it at this point.
So you jump in, we've got maybe 10 seconds to speculate on it. What do you think? Hookshot? Mirror?
I'm gonna go with boots. Just because that would be silly. And Kappa knows it too, going straight in.
Yeah, he did make that northern turn for just a second and then thought, nope, you know what? It has to be something. Let's just go get it.
Boring. Just a glove. Wait, what does that open?
Welcome to the back of Escape.
Back of it. Oh, that's right. Back of Escape or Catfish.
Yeah, catfish as well.
Fantastic.
That's true.
Yeah. Giffy praying for a bit of a troll here that the back of Escape is empty. And based on how the seed's going, I'm interested to see if that's the case.
Just swing back around for the catfish. Could be. Let's find out.
Another glove. LOLOL.
Glove locked glove. Why not?
So, catfish. You know, this is one of those seeds where this would have worked. Scumming the key, getting your out of logic second glove in the back of Escape, and then going up the mountain to get your also out of logic first glove, and then taking your mitts to do the rest of the things.
Imagine following logic, right?
Yeah, I guess now they can do Skullwoods and go through the West Darkworld loop. So, okay, this is where the seed opens up. Looks like Sinak chasing this glove to catfish, so we get to see both sides of the coin here.
Green Pendant Thieves, Pendant Turtle Rock, the other red crystals at Swamp Palace.
Good old Green Pendant Thieves with no hammer.
And we have Sinak with the bit of divergence here going to make the catfish check rather than the items in the back of the Escape first.
You know what's funny is if you did this sequence break to get the glove out of the back of Escape, you do end up saving a lot of time because you get to do Aga at the end with a full loadout of equipment, boots, everything else you could ever want. Oh yeah, we have Mire Shed too.
Catfish just throwing out the fiver. Sinak says, well, that's not what I was looking for.
And finding a green goo in Mire Shed, nothing useful. This is interesting too, the way Jamie sure has a lot more health. Kappa only has 3 hearts, but with red mail, it's fine. And he does have the red goo that Jamie sure had to use to sequence break into pod. So we'll be able to go try to take on Moth with his 6 total hearts, including, I guess, losing one, not being able to use one of those to take a hit, so that you can actually use the potion.
Well, on the red mail, you can have the Moth hit you down to the half-heart level. Of course, if you run into a spike, then you're in trouble.
Should be fun to watch. Excited to see how this goes.
Not a whole lot of leftover magic here, so Kappa's gonna be doing this on the Master Sword.
Yeah. Needs 3 spins or 8 slashes, and sadly you want to have as much health as you can, and the sword beams make the amount of hits double, so 16 sword beams. So looks like it's a free hit and a fire rod shot, so that looks good to me. 2.5, 1.5.
Yeah, seems to have been a fairly cooperative Moth so far, but now
one more spin, I think. Yep.
Down there on the bottom, there it is.
Easy.
Spin.
I was never worried, were you?
Not really. He only took half a heart of damage.
Yeah, so once again, this even though this being a co-op seed, there's not very much to split up, honestly. I guess, yeah, one runner can go into Thieves Town, again without the hammer, so can get everything but the big chest if it potentially has an item, and the other runner could start exploring other things.
Yeah, even with those mitts, we've only opened up so much.
I guess we got mirrorless smiths.
Yeah, mirrorless smiths could be a thing, but the entirety of the mountain is essentially locked away from us. You have no medallion and no hookshot or boots, so you could go to the mire area. We've seen that mire shed check, but that's really all you can do there. Very limited options yet.
First item in Skullwoods is a piece of heart. We saw a bomb pack in Thieves Town. There's really nothing. The seat's empty. And another piece of heart in Skullwoods. Is this the point where you try and troll back the troll seed and say, you know what, I'm done. I'm just going to go send one runner to do mirrorless smiths as fast as possible, and the other runner can actually pretend like that the seed might actually give them something useful?
Yeah, I feel like particularly on the Kappa J. Misher side at the moment, you just send Kappa to do mirrorless smiths.
Yeah, just get the worst checks possible done as quickly as possible.
It's not like they have a whole lot of other options, certainly not any better ones.
Yeah, that and, grab the smith and just go straight to Hype Cave. Finish that up.
Looks like Adirondack Rick is going to go ahead and have the look at Skull of Woods that Kappa already gave us. Not a whole lot of value over here, although the crystal that they're going to need eventually anyway. Both teams, both runners.
And so I just did take a quick look at J. Meeker's stream and saw that the Mire Medallion is Bombos, and J. Meeker has found Bombos.
Yeah, still going to need the next key in the door, though, either a hookshot or a boots to get across that tile gap there in front.
I mean, what if the next thing he finds is boots, and that's all he finds?
It could be.
Then where do you go next?
At that point, absolutely Mire, while you let your co-op companion do all of the other terrible mirrorless checks, which is exactly what Kappa's doing.
Hey, look what Kappa's doing. Goes straight to do mirrorless smiths. You gotta out-meme the seeds sometimes, right?
Meme plays, best plays. Especially against a seed like this.
Oh, for sure. Oh, there's a bow. How neat. Now that ice rod's in logic.
Hooray, logic. Rick being one of the runners who picked up the tempered sword in very good position to just kind of chomp the moth apart really quick.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I wasn't... It's been, hours and hours ago since the start of the seed. Do you remember if there was an item on Armos?
I do not. There was the lamp in the first chest.
Oh, you know what? There's not. I remember now. There was the lamp and the moon pearl and a big 20 in the big key chest.
Yeah, there we go. We were talking about big 20s at the time, and I really had big 20s on the brain, and so it kind of didn't register. But now that you say it, I believe you are correct.
Kappa leaving with the smith. I'm curious where he's going with him. Not much left except catfish, and this doesn't seem like the most efficient way to get to catfish.
Maybe just trying to cover every single one of the bases here, I don't know. Since Misher doesn't seem to have pulled anything aside from that Bombos out of the back of Thieves Town, must be thinking, well, we need to get this check done eventually.
Yeah, GFA making a good point that you can take the whirlpool here to catfish. It's very cross keys oriented play.
A very cross keys oriented play. I wouldn't have thought about it because it's not a mode that I play, but good call on Kappa's part.
Okay, here we go. Mirrorless Smith 1. What do we got? I keep seeing the follower chasing them around. I'm like, don't get hit, it'll run away. Oh wait, no, this isn't the monkey.
Different follower.
Oops. And another coin for their collection.
Could be valuable, could be completely valueless. We don't know yet.
So, my name, you know what's actually available right now? Ice Palace.
Yeah, Hammerless Ice Palace.
All right, let's see it. Let's see it. Oh, Thieves Town was a green pendant too. I totally forgot. I was wondering where Jay Misher was headed.
Gonna go finish off the play. Commit to your plays.
Yeah, it makes sense. He's the one who did Thieves Town, right? And a green 20. Or just a regular single rupee.
When I said I wanted a little bit of money, that is not what I meant.
I think we're basically there. I guess gonna go do purple chest first, and you know, again, if this is the progression, Kappa should immediately chase after it. But otherwise, the only way to split anything up here at this point is to just go to Ice Palace for one of the runners.
One of those plays that a lot of runners don't like to make anymore, especially when you don't have the red cane in inventory yet, but sometimes it's just the play.
Yeah, wow, we don't have any way to really do anything. This seed is hilariously linear.
It's one of those seeds that becomes almost difficult to talk about because, well, surprise, everybody's going to pick up the Smiths and then everybody's going to pick up the purple chest and
then
well,
everyone's going to go to Ice Palace.
Yeah, if none of this pays out, then everybody's going to go to Ice Palace.
I'm actually kind of hoping it's Ice Palace at this point. Because you know what's funny? It doesn't really matter. You've full cleared the entire game up to this point. And there's no way anyone did it faster than you, effectively. And it's just a piece of heart in the purple chest.
As the saying goes, sometimes the mirror is just on purple chest, but in this case it is not. And here we go. Looks like Jay Mish are going to be the first of these 4 runners into Ice Palace.
Kappa dropping off the purple chest in front of the dam and just saying goodbye.
The advantages of co-op. I don't have to spend the extra 20 seconds turning this in. My partner already did.
You know what's funny is if they find a hammer in here, they can complete the dungeon. Whether or not it's in logic will be yet to be determined. And first chest is the boots. Oh, wow.
Yeah, all of our runners going to be happy in the very near future here. Looks like Sinak is going to pick up that Quake medallion off of the Smiths. I can't imagine we'll see anything but a flute immediately to 8. Just as soon as Adirondack Rick says, you may want to come over here and pick up your fashionable footwear.
Yeah, that allows Kappa to just say, you know what? There's going to be nothing else in here. I'm going to go to Meyer to get our real progression. I guess he could do King Sum and Bonk Rocks, but why go there? There's nothing there. It's going to be in Meyer, right?
Seeds handed you everything you need to get into Meyer now, although Kappa does not have the Bombos medallion and is going to need to get into Thieves Town to pick that one up.
And the red cane. I wonder what that's for. You know, it would be really nice if Kappa could find a way to get that other sword out of pod without wasting a bunch of time. Going into Mire with 4 Hearts Master Sword isn't the place you want to be. Red Mail helps, though. It's, you know, makes it a lot nicer, for sure.
Doesn't sound like the most enjoyable play, but then we are talking about a top-tier invitational runner here.
That's true, and he does have the bow, and he can go get arrow bomb refills if he feels necessary. And it looks like Sinak heading into Mire without getting that red cane. Oh, opening it up. Oh, you know what? I think that he did he grab the boots too? Sorry, I missed that part.
No, it appears not.
Oh, you know what? Kappa doesn't have Mambo's medallion.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He's going to have to pick that up out of Thieves' Town before Mire can become a play for him.
So, I missed it earlier because of the way this has been going. But did they find all the items? Is there an item in the big chest?
I am not entirely sure.
Ooh, Jay Mishra having a little bit of trouble setting up this bomb jump here without the hook shot. Not able to get here in logic. Unless the keys are available.
Trying to use this sword buffer to get down there, and finally does get it, but it's easier to point left and do that, because once you set up your slash and you're down there on the bottom, all you have to do is lay the bomb down. And there was an item in the big chest. Adirondack Rick has found the mirror.
Oh, in Ice Palace?
In Ice Palace.
Oh, very nice. Jamie sure doesn't have a hammer. Realizes it as soon as he gets up. The mirror, huh? Okay. Just a map. That actually locks Jay Mishra out of the dungeon. Deciding not to death warp and says, I'm going to follow Kappa in. I'm going to get ahead of him. Go start checking out what's in Mire next. Did you see where the big key was in Ice Palace? And another bow. Okay.
Ice Palace? Loaded palace, apparently.
The silvers really help with Mire. It's kind of too bad that Jay Mishra's not able to grab those, but...
Sinek appears to be having a little trouble with this Pin Gator's room. Of course, with red mail, most things that are being a problem are still not really a problem.
Yeah, right. Normally they do, what, 3 hearts of damage? Instead they do like half a heart. It's fine. And Jay Mishra heading in can completely full clear out Mire in logic.
Rick is going to go ahead and snag that book off of Hylia Island really quick.
Oh yeah, that's totally a thing that we have now, isn't it? That's fun.
Mirror to book to who knows what.
Well, if there's no progression in Mire and it's just a dungeon you're supposed to kill with the items you get, then the tile roomies will be funneled right back into Ice Palace pretty quickly here, so... Looks like Rick is not going to take any crap from the seat anymore, and heading back... He did do Skullwoods. I was thinking he was going to go check the ped real quick and finish Skullwoods, but it looks like that's not the case. Looks like Sinek did do the very nicely done, successful Ice Palace bomb jump, and kind of unnecessary when you don't have the hammer, so... But gets it done. Makes it look swaggy.
It's one of those tricks that you just kind of get used to doing, and you don't necessarily always think about the reasons why you might not want to do it.
Yeah, because he knows that the hammer's not in here. His partner cleared out all 3 items from this dungeon. Alright, we're in Mire. We're both in Mire.
Yeah, a decent chunk of Mire happening over there for tile roomies.
And a big key found this room, which means that there's a possibility that the cutscene chest is actually just a small key now. which really reduces the percentage that the items could be there. And oh, Rick going into first chest of Swamp Palace here. This is a choice.
That is a decision you can make in a co-op like this. Maybe you just get bailed out if the hammer's in there. That's a lot of searching you just saved, and
right,
you've still got your... Synac's gonna turn his nose up at the silvers for the moment.
There's a cape. Pretty sure Kappa checked what was on Bumper Cave, but at this point I've forgotten. I think it was just bombs.
Yeah, I don't recall it being anything all that impressive.
About to find out, is this the hammer in Swamp Palace? Nope.
It is decidedly not.
Oh man, how good does that feel though when it is? And you call it like that? It's as a runner, it's like the best and worst feeling ever at the same time. And how bad would it feel to be like, oh, look, it was actually, the hammer was actually on Bombos, I'm sorry.
Yeah, what's terrible is when it's the hook shot, because who's going to go there for the hook shot?
Oh my goodness. Oh
there
boy,
you go, Beer Man.
Here we go.
Hold on, I think chat's about to start warming up the fires. We're gonna tie you to the pole and burn you for a witch.
That's kind of actually really bad for the tile roomies. They got to go back into Ice Palace again without the hammer to get the mirror, to get the book, to get the hammer to finish Ice Palace.
Sounds like rando to me.
Yeah, we got because of the mirror, we got the bomb squad splitting up the mirror checks here, and yeah, Rick deciding not to go look for hookshot in Swamp Palace decides one troll check is enough. We go back and finish off Pod now that he's able to. I missed it on Kappa's side. Was that anything on the cutscene chest?
I missed it as well.
Oh, there's the hookshot. Okay.
Sure, game. Why not? Now,
so yeah, gonna have reasons to do other things.
That is going to
right?
draw tile roomies way away from their progression to the hammer, because that's light and dark mountain, with the exception of getting over to east side or back to west side rather for Hera.
So let's just talk about this for 1 second. It sounds really bad for them. Like people are kind of talking about like, oh no, this could be really bad, etc., etc. But they're actually in a position where they can start kind of just full clearing everything but the hammerlock checks, which the hammer is kind of weird just because it makes routing awkward, but where we know it is just an Ice Palace, effectively. That they might get hammer as a go mode item here. And if there's nothing behind it, and you know, the other team's looking for things that they don't find, it could end up making them waste time doing checks. But realistically at this point, the only thing we're looking for is ether, so.
And we don't even know if we're looking for it just yet.
That's true, yeah. I'm just trying to think of any positive outcome here. And, it's hard to say. Jamie, you're finding a shovel. Getting hit by the Kappa, yeah, using the red potion right away, but getting hit by the knockback from the lightning will hit you in the opposite direction you are trying to move, similar to Ganon's fire bats.
Looks like it was just the compass left over in Palace of Darkness there on Adirondack Rick's side.
Yeah, it's funny, you know, it also works out too that the mirror blocking the hammer means that they actually can't get to Hera or Ether Tablet. Well, they can't because of the book where it is.
Yeah, I mean, they're just locked out of that entire Hereward side of the mountain because at the very minimum you have to get your hands on that mirror, and neither of them are in that position just yet.
Yeah, and they don't have much left to do if there's nothing up on the mountain. It looks like Kappa gonna get a little health refill, but he might just go back into Ice Palace. There's really not left. There's almost nothing left for them to do without that mirror. I'm trying to think of what he could possibly do from here, besides just follow Jay Meisher to whatever inevitable nothingness that we're probably going to see on the mountain up here.
Yeah, that is what it looks like. Kind of unfortunate. I wonder if it was maybe a miscommunication of how the end of Meisher's run in Ice Palace came about. Now, for all of this, it probably should be said that Tile Roomies are ahead in dungeons cleared by a fairly substantial amount.
Yeah, that's a very good point, actually.
And everybody had to do AGA for Dark World access bright and early, so it's not as though anybody's in a situation of, well, really, they're 4 minutes behind everybody else because they still have to make that climb up AT. Nope, everybody had to do it.
Yeah, and all they found up here in the whole area was a shovel, and Kappa's now grabbed that, and where Rick finishes off Pod and Eastern, so gets some dungeons done. Sinak just grabbing his hammer, and about to see where the shovel takes us. Hey, another red 20. I thought we'd already seen them all at this point. I feel like they gotta know now, though, right? That there's literally nothing left except for something they missed in Ice Palace. Uncertain of what that is.
Here is that inevitable return to Ice Palace by Jay Meisher, and Kappa going to follow right along behind. Or maybe not.
Yeah, did he? No, they checked AGA. Maybe he was wondering if they had forgotten, if they misread what was on Lumberjack or something. By the way, did we get a TR medallion check?
If we did, I unfortunately missed it.
I don't think we did, actually. You know, another thing, too, that's interesting is TR is a pendant. We are in GT mode, for sure, on the Bomb Squad side, and very quickly here will be as well with the Tile Roomies.
Yeah, it looks like Bomb Squad is going to go ahead and make the wrap up on some dungeons that they still need to do. Sinak showing some checks that I don't think they have yet in Desert. Full clearable for them at this point, obviously. Maybe eyeing askance that Meyer play on current equipment? I don't know.
Yeah, they both know where to go, and it's kind of funny with the Red Cane. Could do Icebreaker, but we know all the items are just free to be found here with the mirror and the silvers in the back of Ice. Or I guess the front of Ice, I don't know.
The left-hand side of Ice? I don't know.
Yeah. Not the Ice H room or the Ice U room or one of the other letters that Ice Palace has. Looks like Kappa's locked in unless he, yeah, you gotta push these tiles to get out here. Tiles, blocks, whichever way.
Yeah, the devs were nice enough to leave you a way out if you couldn't figure out the puzzle.
I actually think in the routing, the original way that you're supposed to do in the dungeon is to go through that, push your way out, and then go back and do like a full loop. I think that was kind of the intention, but it's pretty silly either way. The dungeon's kind of a pretty funny, silly maze.
Yeah, the intended route leaves something to be desired from a gameplay perspective, but it's very much a classic Zelda puzzle.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the funny thing is, Kappa going and grabbing this key here could have actually just... see, okay, here you go. So Kappa not doing Ice Pal spawn jump here, knowing the hammer's not in here. Well, I guess they don't know that because they didn't get all 3 items, but they do know the mirror's in here, and they do know the mirror is progression, so they are going to chase it.
Kappa with those very fun bomb strats against the Vindigators.
Oh yeah. Looks like Rick finishing up Thieves Town. I guess doesn't find an item in the big chest because I kind of missed it. I've been trying to follow Desert and everything else that's been going on.
Has wandered a little off script here, but is into Phase 3.
Jay Meisher checking Checkerboard Cave. And the funny thing is, it's kind of been a long time in the seat. I wonder if they'd like just forgot the book was in a dumb place.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to say. Again, of course, the mirror going to give you access to the desert area since you have the flute and the mitts anyway, so you may as well come in and have the look.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting too. Like, we're still seeing the bomb squad just cleaning up checks and doing overworld and this kind of thing. And, you know, I feel like at this point you just go mode everything and then get up to TR, find out you don't have the medallion, and then cry. But yeah, realistically, it could... Oh, there was Quake. We knew Quake was there. Right, I forgot about that. We already did the Smiths earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, they haven't finished Meyer yet, so they don't know where Hookshot is. Okay.
Yeah, they're still looking for Hookshot, which is really kind of their outstanding check. And if you know where Quake is, you may as well get to the 2/3 chance, and it looks like Rick may be heading up the mountain now to just go ahead and have that look.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny.
Get Hera done.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, and the fact that the hookshot was there kind of hurt the tile roomies a little bit because it opened up a lot, but a lot of nothing because we knew where the answer actually was, which was to get that book.
And it looks like Kappa does in fact remember this is going to be the book pickup while Misha clears out the crystalline desert.
Yeah, Kappa going up. Oh, has the mirror now, so can go up to Hera and Ether Tablet. And Jay Meisher going to take the portal here is probably the fastest way to get back to Hylia Island. This is interesting. We saw 2 different routes to get there. I think Kappa took the North Cac portal and then took the Whirlpool. And Jay Meisher is going to take the Castle Tower portal and then go south. I have no idea which one's actually faster. Is this the first Hobo check from anyone in this whole seed? Or did we see Hobo earlier? Oh, he's not checking Hobo.
We saw Hobo earlier. But that could just be seed bleed on my part.
Yeah. Oh, the seed, it's kind of funny. It's as linear as it's been. It feels like it's been so long since the start of it. Oh, we did see Hobo was money, it looks like. Okay. Thank you, chat.
And
Or,
Rick
sorry,
has shown
thank you
us
to our wonderful tracker.
Rick has shown us that Quake medallion was required the entry to Turtle Rock, so GT mode going to be held in abeyance today.
Okay, this is proper go mode.
Or at least will be for Bomb Squad once Sinek gets the remainder of the way through Meyer and finds out that the hookshot is on Vitreous.
That's true. Yeah, Kappa doing the wrong book check, unfortunately, here. So still has a little bit of way to go. Jay Meisher is... Let's see. Oh, he has the book now. Where is he taking the book?
This feels like a really roundabout way to get over to this side of the world when you have the mirror, the flute, and the mitts.
Oh, he can't get to Bombo's tablet without going all the way around.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh my goodness, yeah. This is literally the only way to get there. Except for, like you said, mirroring, fluting to 3, and then taking the North CAC portal entry. Wow, okay. That's very unfortunate. Kappa's going to have to do basically the same thing in order to get his hammer as well. Oh, we do see Sinak heading down. Did he grab silvers or just Rick?
I think it was just Rick. I recall mentioning at the time that it looked like he noped out on them.
Yeah, that's kind of funny too. In the situation Sinak's in, is Rick is decked out to go kill Vidi, and Rick is or Sinak is not the lowest percent you can be, but pretty much the lowest where like you want to be without it being terrible. And well, I guess he has the cape, so it's not the absolute worst, but it's not great either. Not a fun fight is all I'm getting at.
Situation by any stretch of the imagination. And there it is. Jay Meisher sees the hammer on Bombo's tablet and is probably thinking, uh-oh.
Yeah, I think at this point, finding it that late and knowing the situation you're in, you basically tell yourself, hey, the hammer's here. We're just gonna go mode everything from now on because we're probably behind. There's no reason to pretend that we need to look for anything else.
Sinak using the magic bar, filling back up with both red and green potions to use full cape dash strats to get those eyeballs down. Seems to have worked out for him.
Very nice.
That's the kind of thing your resources are there for, to make sure that what might otherwise be a challenging or dangerous fight is not.
Yeah, so at 1 hour and 2 minutes, the Bomb Squad is in go mode with 8 hearts for Adirondack Rick and I think 9 for Sinek. Yeah, and it looks like they're going for it. Jay Meisher skipping all the chests in Swamp. He's done. He's done. I'm out. The seed's over. Kappa doing the same, except with the other dungeons.
Yep, and that's going to be an interesting point for all of them because we have 7 total dungeons done for Tile Roomies, and wouldn't you know it, 7 total dungeons done for the Bomb Squad.
Wow, this is very interesting that we got to the point we did in the order in which we did. But hey, there's Ether. Now we can freeze things. Yay.
Now we can get out of the Stalco's room in Ganon's tower just a little faster.
This magical coin freezes everything around it. I forget what it says.
It does do that. Now, Beer, I don't know about you, but I'm lazy. If I know exactly where Tempered Sword is here in Palace of Darkness, I'm going to go get it even if I'm nominally in go mode and I'm Sinek.
Absolutely, yeah. Getting it, I mean, it's kind of late in the seed. I was going to say the earlier you get it, the more time it saves, but at the end of the day, grabbing it, knowing where it is here, I'm pretty sure it's the... Oh, you have to get the Ice Rod anyway. I just realized.
Yeah, you do have to go back and get the Ice Rod. You're right.
Yeah, but so burning a key here to get in. I think there's one more key. Oh. No, you didn't have to do that. I think... Oh, you do. You need 2 more keys. So jumps down, grabs the other key, grab the one on the bridge, hammer jump, get the sword, get the ice rod, and then finish the dungeon. But fun times. So
Meanwhile, we have Adirondack Rick putting Trinex to bed here. Trinex is going to put Rick to bed instead.
Oh,
My
no.
goodness. Sudden
That's not
reversal
good.
of fortune.
Looks like there's something else Kappa wants. Oh, it's probably the big key. Forgot where everything is already.
Yeah, Palace of Darkness was relatively early on in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, Rick didn't take the safety door because, you know, it actually made sense for him not to. You just got to grab the key, and it's pretty rare that happens on the boss. It's really unfortunate what it does. He gets in a weird pattern and kind of just sneaks around the corner and whacks you on the head. Really, really don't like to see that. You know, Jay Meisher's going to go and clean up Ice Palace. Probably just go modes it. He's going to miss the silvers here, which isn't the biggest deal, but, you know, I don't know. It's not even that free. You do have a big key, small key. It's hard to say. It's hard to say if it's worth it, even if you knew it was there.
Yeah, and he's already done the one boss that it really kind of changes the equation on. Having silvers from Vidi is really the one boss outside of maybe Ganon himself that you really are concerned about it for.
Yeah, that's true. It's one of those, like, having silvers is nice to make Landmo just an easier fight to get a 0 cycle, stuff like that. But you know, they have enough equipment that it shouldn't be an issue. So very, very unlikely that he gets that at this point. Because what's funny is nobody's pulled any small keys out of this entire dungeon. He knows this isn't a key. Kappa tried this. Probably, you know, it's hard to say. Oh, we're in go mode, and just you forget everything and you just try and do things quickly. But this next chest, or he doesn't need to get this next chest, but it will be one of the small keys, very likely. Or the map. Oh, he's going for it. Yeah, that's one of the small keys. So now if he wants to, he can grab Ice Tea Room and... Oh, look, another sword on Trinex from Rick's side.
Imagine another sword just being in the way.
What a jet seed.
Aga required Dark World access Jet Seed. There you go.
Everything's just in the way if you do Ice Palace first immediately after Dark World, right?
I mean, you go into Pod, you get your flute, you go get Glove 1 off the mountain, you go get Glove 2 out of the back of Escape, and you go to Palace of Darkness and pick up all, or go to Ice Palace rather, and pick up all the things.
Or you just get your first, you steal the key in the first chest of Hyrule Castle, get your first glove in the back of Escape, go up the mountain, and, you know, it's the same difference.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
You know what's actually really funny, though? Looking at... You know, let's look at this from a spoiler perspective, right? You know where the terrible items are in this seed. So you go steal the key, you get a couple swords, you go up the mountain, get the other glove, and you immediately go to Ice Palace, get your mirror, silvers, and what was the other thing? The boots. Get your book, get your hammer, and get a couple medallions, and you're in go mode. You could really get to go mode in, like, you know, 20 minutes on this seed. Somehow.
Speaking of going, almost blink and you miss it. Kappa has picked up the Ice Rod, the third sword has put down the Helmsor King.
Yeah, meanwhile, Jay Meisher finishing off Ice Palace, Sinak about to head into Helmsor as well. Kind of switching dungeons. They're trading dungeons here on the other side.
the obvious play, the Mirror by Kappa, going to go ahead and wipe out Eastern now. Put another one of those crystals on the board.
Yeah, only has 8 arrows. Kind of has to go and farm in this dungeon, which it is Eastern. It is the vanilla bow dungeon, so we'll be able to get plenty of arrows in here. But the question is, how many do you get? You got to do this. What else? And I guess enough to just get to GT, so it should be no big deal.
I mean, you dash through this next room, you can turn south, pick up a couple of pots for 10, and then there are just gobs and gobs of arrows waiting for you in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
There are probably enough waiting for you in the back that, like Kappa, you can skip those first couple. Sinak again hot on Kappa's heels.
Yeah, needs to grab some arrows, though, to make this dungeon free. We'll waste, what, 6 on the red Igors, so you need 18 to do the fight.
We have Rick dropping into Cold Stare and Mishra dropping into the Mothula fight. A bit more of an uncooperative Moth on Mishra's side, but does go down. Much more cooperative Cold Stare, although Rick was maybe a little low on hit points there by the end.
Yeah, gets it done, does a very nice job. Finishing up ice.
Definitely puts Cold Stare in the corner, that's for sure.
Absolutely. So we're getting close to the end. It's just dungeon rush, dungeon rush, dungeon rush, and, you know, as fast as you can.
And so after all of the co-op info sharing action, the question is, which set of 2 competitors can go ahead and go mode all of these dungeons more quickly?
Yeah, so how are we looking? It's happening so quickly. I'm trying to figure out who's ahead, and it's pretty impossible. Everyone just has a bunch of random dungeons done.
Yep, the bomb squad has 10. We'll soon have 11 when Sinak wipes this out, and it looks like we've
out of arrows.
Got 12 over on the Tile Roomies side. So Tile Roomies may be getting through this a little bit more quickly now.
Yeah, getting to see a pure execution battle between Adirondack Rick and Kappa here. They're like within a half a second or less.
It's pretty close.
Now, if only Sinak and Jay Mishra can find themselves in the same dungeon at the same time, it'd be much easier to figure out what's going on. Yeah, interesting point to think about, too, here is if Tile Roomies end up in TR at the same time, we all know that Go Mode's not that much faster than non-Go Mode, but if you know where everything is, if you're in there at the same time, you're both basically just doing every chest. It's really hard to leapfrog that dungeon with your playing partner here.
I guess you have one player go left and one right early, just in case one of them doesn't actually happen to have anything, but it's almost impossible for right in the front of TR not to have something.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you know, maybe left is a map or something, and you get to know that you can skip that for one runner, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think, I forget who it was, but we saw a race yesterday where they were looking for the ice rod and one other item. I forgot what it was. The flippers, I believe. And they were putting it off because they didn't want to, like, bank too hard on the memes of finding an ice rod in TR. And, well, the right side had both items.
The sword up difference between Kappa and Rick was about 3.5 seconds there at the end, so Kappa may have gained 2 to 3 seconds over the course of the back of Desert Palace.
Oh man, it's so hard to keep track. Jamie Misher finishing up Pod. Sinak about to finish up Skull Woods. Rick about to finish up Meyer. Well, heading into Meyer, so... Wait, didn't he do Meyer? No. He just did other stuff while Sinak found the hookshot. Okay, that's right.
Since nothing really appears to be behind the hookshot, so it was easy to go do other things, I guess. But now, as you might expect, we have 4 runners, all of them in different places, doing different things, and we have bosses exploding pretty much every 20 or 30 seconds.
Yeah. It's pretty wild here, just how fast this ends up being. Just you always talk about, oh, you want to find go mode as fast as you can. Well, in a seed like this, you just follow the 6 different steps of progression literally directly, except for Ice Palace. That was kind of a weird one. And then you're just all of a sudden in go mode. And then you go mode 6 dungeons, something like that. It's just so rare to go mode dungeons in this mode. Usually you get like 1, maybe 2.
Yep, Sinak now with 6 dungeons, Adirondack Rick with 7 for 13 total for the Bomb Squad. We have 7 on Kappa and 7 on Jay Misher, so... and even 14 for Tile Roomies right now. And it looks like they're going to add to that lead as Kappa's going to be dropping in on Cold Stare here momentarily.
So I think this is a good time to shout out our runners.
Who are, in fact, putting on a wonderful show for us. We have, as I was saying, we have bosses exploding left, right, and center at the moment. We have Kappa and Jay Misher, the representatives of the Tile Roomies, on the right-hand side of the screen, and over on the left, we've got Adirondack Rick and Sinak representing the Bomb Squad. All 4 of these runners putting on a wonderful end of Week 1 performance for everybody's enjoyment.
Yeah, they're the runners' Twitch channels are linked in the chat, so if you are enjoying what you're watching, please go and head over to their channels, give them a follow, check them out when they're live, and you know, get more rando action. Additionally, want to shout out our wonderful trackers for spending time here to click the buttons, keeping the comms honest. We have Mindful Beast and Yoinker's Wife. Doing a very good job. Thank you to the trackers.
Always nice to have the trackers well and truly on top of things, particularly in this age of Quickswap. You don't always get to see the menus anymore. It makes their job even harder, but here they are doing it anyway.
Yeah, so now we have Jay Misher heading up just as Turtle Rock and Hera finish the seat off. We did have Adirondack Rick just finish up Meyer and has to go do Swamp Palace along with Sinak here. So we're looking at a clear of TR versus a go mode Swamp Palace plus a climb up the mountain here when comparing Adirondack Rick versus Jay Misher. And Kappa just finishing up, no, just entering Swamp. I'm trying to figure out how close this is, and it's really hard. I think they're about 1 or 2 dungeons apart.
Yeah, I think the only real difference at this point is that Sinak has a couple of extra dungeons remaining compared to the other 3 runners we've got. Everybody else with 2 left, Sinak with 4.
This is kind of a terrifying situation to be in on either side, because you know that the last 30 minutes of the seed is up to pure execution. It's just don't mess anything up, do everything perfectly, and go as fast as you can because you know your opponents are doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, and on the Bomb Squad side, where you had Rick with that death on Trinex, when you get into this long of a string of just sheer execution, you start wondering, is that what's going to cost me? Is that really what's going to wind up costing my team the race? And in this case, probably not, but it's definitely in the back of your mind at the time.
Well, we did say, at the beginning of this race, really excited to see a very close one, and as far as we can tell at this point, it's not going to get much closer than this race is looking to be.
There's Sinak picking up that crystal out of Swamp Palace.
It's funny with Sinak's cursor sprite. I keep thinking my mouse is covering the watch screen here. I'm like, I try to move it. I'm like, where's the mouse? Why is this happening? Easy to make that mistake, right?
Yeah, that really is a great sprite. All of the push and pull animations, the crystal catch. There's so much good going on with that sprite. There really is.
Yeah, I love that one. Kappa didn't grab any arrows in Swamp. We do have the NMG arrow pots, the well-known ones, but he's only going to have 7 arrows going into going into TR. I guess Jay Misher, in a similar situation, had 6 arrows. Just grabbed the NMG arrows there for a total of 11, which should be good enough to do Ganon's Tower here.
Looks to be in pretty good shape. Also, unlike in MG, you're going to be making some checks looking for your big key, likely to find sticks in the junk fill somewhere. Using those silvers to full effect in phase 2 Harvest, one shot, down it goes.
Yeah, this is where we get to see the difference. Jay Misher still has to finish up TR and then do Harris. So as soon as we see Adirondack Rick entering the portal on top of Turtle Rock is... the time difference between that and when Jay Misher exits Turtle Rock is the difference between them effectively getting to GT, minus, of course, clearing Hera.
Yeah, we have everybody except Sinak up on the mountain, and Sinak has a pretty quick run through the remainder of Ice Palace. Just a couple of rooms left, and then we're going to see one more Cold Stare explosion.
Yeah, interesting thought too. Will Sinak get silvers here? He doesn't. He knows where they are. Did he hit the switch? I kind of missed how he run. Yeah, he hit the switch. Going for silvers here. It's a lot of time. I think the way the dungeon was laid out, if you don't hit the switch, it's actually pretty straightforward to go there and grab silvers, but besides, it's not worth it. Nice small key in Laser Bridge as well at the top, so.
And at this late date, you know that Buttersword is just sitting there in your way anyway, so why worry about it?
Nice swag dash strat from Jay Misher and the Peg Maze. Is that what it's called? The Peg Maze in TR? Ooh, Sinek getting not getting the spin off rather.
I've always been a fan of using the Bombos medallion, but you can fire it off when you're up near the bottom left-hand corner of the Cold Stare shell, and then walk up to the top of the room to kind of time your spin out automatically. Otherwise, you have to think about it a little bit, and in Sinak's case, a little late, just a hair late trying to release that spin, and the buffs get free.
Yeah, I think I learned that from you. I do that now every time when I want to make sure that I get to use Fire Rod on that fight.
Adirondack Rick trying the hook speed version of Harapot finally gets it after quite a number of running back and forth attempts.
Yeah, so here we can see, like, Rick will be fighting Moldorm by the time Jay Misher is entering Tower of Hera about.
A couple of quick pats of butter is all it takes. Down goes the worm. Hooray, 3 bombs. Not really a concern. All of our runners probably really wish that was sticks instead at this point.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Everyone's out of arrows here. Especially Sinek. He has 0 arrows. This is not a good place to be when you're entering TR. The only known arrows that we have, the guaranteed ones, are the NMG arrows, and that's only 5. So we'll have to figure out a way to get at least 8 arrows to do the climb. Well, not necessarily. I guess there is a second 5 arrow pot, so just have to be really careful, not miss a shot, and not despawn them.
We do have some guesses in chat as to where that big key might be located in the basement of Ganon's Tower. You have to rummage through all this trash until you find it, and Rick has found a small key on the torch to start off with.
Yeah, that happened too fast that I kind of forgot to call that out, and so 1 is not the answer, which is my normal guess.
And Sinek did find 10 sticks there in the, I believe that was the bottom chest of Super Money Cave.
Oh, very nice. I'm curious to see if Rick remembered that when he was up there earlier. Because there's no way that you would go there just to check for arrows, right?
I mean, I guess if you know you're out of arrows and you're going up the mountain, the dark route anyway, those chests are not the most out of the way thing you could possibly check. Here's Misher entering GT, already sat through the crystal cutscene before doing the Hera portion of the trip, so just gets to run up the stairs now.
Yeah, Sinek just entering TR where Kappa's about to get to Trinex, so it feels like we're effectively about a TR behind from the bomb squad side. You know what's a little oh wow, look at all the arrows. Okay, never mind. Everyone has arrows for days. It's fine. Everything's fine.
And the answer appears to be go left and then go left some more.
Yeah, Kappa about to take down Trinex here. Let's see, Jay Misher, he's killing the Stalfo, so he's going to continue going left. He's basically caught up to Rick here because of the routing choice in GT, which is kind of funny. It's not something you usually say in co-op mode. Hey, look, more arrows.
Imagine finding arrows in the junk fill in GT.
Yeah. Well, we've already cleaned up all the 20 rupee chests in the entire game, probably, so might as well find something, and might as well be arrows. So Kappa finished it up with TR and is heading to GT as well.
Yep, all 10 dungeons done again. While Sinek is still wandering about in this series of tubes that is the inside of Turtle Rock.
And in Rando Room, checking the chest in a different order for the suspense and, well, finds nothing.
And Misher leaving a split second ahead, so that advantage that Rick had, of course the Silver's advantage still outstanding, and we'll have to consider that, but all of a sudden we've got ourselves a bit of a race here.
Yeah, it looks like there's no reason for Kappa to go right here unless he's going for Tile Room, right? No, okay, he's going to the basement with Jay Misher. I was kind of wondering, like, of the choice of which way you're going, and going full right just means you're going to the basement. Because by the time Kappa entered, Jay Misher was already through the rando room, which is the last room on the left side before both sides converge onto the basement. Imagine this being a tile room placement in this seed.
That would be a thing, wouldn't it? Silver sticks appear to be working out for Adirondack Rick. There is a big key in its vanilla location, like happens oh so often.
Yeah, you never see that, right?
Well, that depends. Do you play an MG or not?
Exactly. Well, Kappa knows where to go, and heading down left. Oop, Rick having to use a potion, which is fine. You know, the reason you have them is to use them in case your health gets low or magic.
Safety's there to be used.
Kappa's skipping the small key, opening the pot and realizing I don't need this. I'm gonna spend one more key. I'll grab one on the climb. It's fine.
And we have Adirondack Rick and Misher pretty much room for room still.
Yeah, very, very tight race between the two of them. Absolutely. The biggest difference is that Adirondack Rick does have silvers here.
It's going to make life just a little easier for him.
You know, I'm a little surprised with the moniker Tile Roomies not immediately going for Tile Room first, but, you know, it worked out for them that he didn't here when Kappa entered GT. Or maybe I have it backwards.
Yourself for a meme. Why don't you just go all out, right?
But Kappa getting it done with 8 arrows to spare.
Yeah, had the quick kill in order, and then kind of accidentally threw it away on a little bit of an early turn. I think that was.
Yeah, and Rick saving that quick kill on the Landmo there, very nicely done. That nice short hop, the wrong way you want the Landmo to go, and still gets it. You know, just noticing, Jay Misher has 13 hearts. Kappa has 7.
It does seem to have worked out that way, doesn't it? There's a little more balance over on the bomb squad side.
Yeah. It's like, hey, buddy, have a heart.
Or don't. You know, you do you.
Or don't. So I'm just curious, how I just gotta ask my Indian, what was your favorite meme of the seed?
That's a tough one. Completely stacked Ice Palace, but it's not clearable on the first trip. That's a pretty good one. You go and you find the boots, but you better not leave because your mirror's in there too. Oh, and if you want to keep going for a little while, you can even have silvers.
Yeah. Boots locking, red cane locking hookshot, the rule of beer, as I call it.
Yeah, that was a good one. Mirror to book to hammer was its own special circle of hell.
Oh, that was a fun one. Jay Misher and Rick both doing a very good job with Moldorm 2 taking him down and entering the Aga 2 fight. fun patterns, not too bad. Just got to make sure you get them here. Each of them kind of missing one or two. Not a huge deal. Just try and get it down in at most 4 cycles is the goal, I think. Sinek finishing up Hera, while Kappa's in the climb as well. Question from chat that's something to explain real quick is that the average time between the 2 runners is what is used to determine the winner of this race.
Speaking of winning the race, we do have Mishra in Phase 1 now. Phase 2 of the Ganon fight as Adirondack Rick is about to come join the party.
Yeah, getting those dash strats. Not too bad with the gold sword. They're not really tight, but they're tight enough with tempered that you gotta be pretty good at it. Getting some David Bowie comments from Ganon today. Right? That's David Bowie, right?
I'm going to have to admit that I don't know.
I'm like 99% sure it is.
Yeah, you would have needed another buddy of mine on here who has all of the musical knowledge.
Yeah, a lot of the it's really fun looking at the Ganon text. A lot of them are song lyrics, and some Pink Floyd, David Bowie, other song references I don't know as well. We're getting some nice triple action here from Jay Mishra's side. Got to get 12 spins in total with the torch glitch. Finish him off. Rick having the silvers obviously makes this a bit easier. Gets a torch glitch, which puts Ganon back at the top corner again. And I think only going to be able to get 2 silvers here, so has to get another torchlight to finish him off.
Yeah, nice to stop him kind of in the middle of the floor. Have pig explosions on Adirondack Rick's side there. Just have to wait out the fanfare, which always feels like forever. Fanfare for Mishra as well, right as Kappa drops into the fight.
And get your GGs in chat for Adirondack Rick and Jay Mishra, who finished 1st and 2nd place on their respective teams. Rick with a time of 1 hour 36 minutes and 15 seconds, and Jay Mishra with a time of 1 hour 36 minutes and 19 seconds. So up to see if Sinek can make up the difference here and use the average times in order to complete the race.
At this point, I think he's going to need a little help from Kappa. A Ganon fall would have to be on the table here, I do believe.
Yeah, there's got to be at least 1 or 2, so... Oh, there was a blue goo in that chest there on Sinek's side. I actually had forgotten that.
The seed was decidedly not lacking in safety. Well, unless you're Kappa, in which case you're going to finish this thing up on 7 hearts, because, well,
yeah,
you do.
Yeah, no bug net too. Where was that? Oh, that was in Agina's cave. That's pretty funny.
The silvers definitely proved their worth on Adirondack Rick's side. Was the second one to drop into the Ganon fight, but the first one to finish.
Yeah, cleaned up, saved a lot of time with those for sure. And get your GGs in chat for Kappa, as long as he crosses the 1x3 bridge. Plasma Kappa finishing with a official race time room, racetime.gg time of 1 hour 38 minutes and 14 seconds. And can confirm not long after that, Sinak has decided to forfeit this race because he would have needed to finish within 4 seconds of Kappa in order to win this race for the bomb squad.
So that is going to do the thing for us. Let's see if we can't gain access to one or more of these runners to talk about this seed. It looks like we do have some people joining us in setup. We'll see if we can't get them on up here into the main room here momentarily for you. There we go. We are joined in the booth by Adirondack Rick, Jay Misher, and Kappa. Good game to all of you.
GG.
Absolutely, GG.
Yeah, GG's to you guys.
Yeah, so just a quick question, because I was curious to see if anyone would have considered this after not finding anything, especially in the front of escape. Was there any thought at all between the teams to scum a key and check the back for a glove?
I didn't really think of it myself until after the fact when Sinak ended up pulling out the Titan's Mitt out of the back 3 of escape. I'm like, shoot, is the other team going to do that? Grab a key from the front, since we knew that Zelda's cell was going to be empty at that point, but didn't really throw into my mind at the end here if that was going to be a thing.
Yeah. Did you guys do it? Did you scum the key? Okay.
No, we didn't end up scumming the key, and honestly, I don't think either of us thought of that.
It's such a niche, low percent, spoiler log grace play that you'd make on that. So,
yeah. And even thinking about it in hindsight, I don't think I would, because it was 2 items, because we knew the small key was back there.
Yep.
And you got to do Aga anyways. So you know that there's something either on the pyramid or in pod. At that point, there really wasn't anything left. So yeah, it didn't feel like it feel like it would be the smart play. It's really good.
Yeah.
The all dungeons aspect for me was kind of what sold me the idea that, if they did, oh well, we still have to do Aga anyway, so no harm, no foul.
Yeah, I didn't have the brain space to think of that. I was the one doing front of escape.
See.
And
yeah, I was the one who did the front of the escape, and I think this race really came down to a couple of factors for me. First of all, me dying in blind cell there because I decided to get too much roughed up with that green guard too close near me. Made me have to return down there. That's a minute there, then dying to Trinex because I got ultra aggressive after Sinek had found the go mode hook shot. I'm like, yep, okay, that's time I bled away. But, this was what it was. It was a thrilling finish at the very end, and a very disgusting, awful seed. My partner in crime over here on the bomb squad said he had some word for this seed.
Who the hell why? I'm glad you guys didn't scum that key, though, so you got to fully enjoy that entire mid-game item sequence with the rest of us. So.
Oh, yeah. We got bottlenecked a few times. And really, for us, with this race, our big issues basically all came from me and Ice Palace. Which, boy, it's 2 seeds in a row now where I have, majorly screwed up Ice Palace.
What'd you end up doing?
So, I went in there, we got the boots, and Kappa was a little bit behind me. So I was just like, hey, go ahead and, if you want to, just go ahead and save and quit out after you get those boots and check, the boot slots. So we're not going over each other's, trail a bit too much. He ends up getting the cane, and that I guess messed with my head too much because then I decided after getting the big key to not go to the big chest and instead try to do a bomb jump. And I wish I could say it was some Giga Brain gamble, but I just forgot that I couldn't get all but one of those items over there.
Yeah.
And got stuck in Spike Room and just left because I was like, well, we got the cane, so we got some more stuff open to us.
Yeah, both small keys in Ice Palace were hard hammer locked. One on the boss and one on the Ice Atrium.
Yeah, and so we lost some time there having to trek back into Ice Palace and get that mirror again.
Yeah.
A little bit later.
Unfortunately, we threw away some time ourselves. Like I said, I took those 2 deaths, and both of them were aggressive, trying to save time, where I ended up blowing more time in the end. Sinek had an unfortunate incident regarding the routing to get to the book.
Yeah, it was kind of funny watching the different routing to the book because, like, we were kind of like looking at, just for fun, like the God route of the seed, right? Was get a couple of the major Light World items, scum a key for escape, get your glove, go up the mountain, get your mitts, go to Ice Palace, get all the things in there, and then you go jump down, grab the book, and basically have to save and quit, and then take the CAC portal all the way down to Bombos. And so the routing was kind of wonky because the way everyone ended up doing it, like I think every single runner took a different path to Bombos. I think Kappa took the whirlpool. Everyone took a different route. It was interesting.
I definitely took the worst one. And in hindsight, I really should have just mirrored and fluted to Kakariko. But instead, I decided to just make the full World Revolution and go from the castle all the way down to Bombo's tablet.
I'm going to say, honestly, I forgot all about the whirlpool.
Yeah, that would have been smart.
I took the worst route, actually.
Go ahead.
I'm so out of practice. So what I ended up doing is like, oh, no, I'll just couple up turning in the purple chest, right? So I go and all right, I'll go check out the purple chest and I'll do Bombos. The problem is I needed the book first. The Bombos tablet, I need the book first. So I ended up turning in the purple chest the long way, and then realizing I have to go over there and grab the book and then do another loop downwards to get the Bombo's tablet. So
there was no great way to get to the hammer. Like one of the worst hammer locations I think I've ever seen. That's saying something because I've seen Ice Palace hammer.
This seed was disgusting. It was vile. It was awful. I hope the viewers enjoyed it. And this is a good way to wrap up week number 1 of this league. I had fun. I hope the Tile Roomies had fun. Good luck to you guys in week number 2.
Yeah, good luck to you guys as well. I think, obviously we're happy to come with 2 wins, but man, there's a lot of mistakes. And yeah, it is week 1, and I haven't done a ton of racing in a little bit, so it's kind of good to knock the rest off. We got a couple of doozy seeds. I mean, this one's probably worse, but our first race, the seed in our first race was also pretty terrible.
I wish that first race was restreamed, and not because of the item chain, but because of the fact that our average came down to 8 seconds.
Yeah, amazingly close. This one's still fairly close. So yeah, 2 great races. Good luck to you guys going forward.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, and good luck to you guys in week 2. Who do you guys got next week?
It's going to be Kappa and Walsh are going to be handling the FAD keys.
FAD keys versus Upstar War S Ashnish. Nice job.
The team we get in week 7 and the other co-op week.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm going to take a week off to reflect on everything that occurred in these 2 races, and I'll let those guys handle it.
Yeah, definitely GG's to everyone. Thank you for putting on this great show for everyone. And to anyone watching, please follow these runners. They did a great job entertaining us tonight on not a very good co-op seed, but a very interesting seed for sure. Very linear, follow the progression kind of seed.
Yep.
Absolutely. Randomizer is such a fun thing. Now time for me to go study and get beaten up by Zelga next week.
Good luck. And additionally, thanks so much to our wonderful trackers, Mindful Beast and Yoinker's wife. And thank you also to my co-com, My Indium. Had a great time tonight.
Yep, I had a blast as always, Beer Man. I do hope that everybody out there in chat land enjoyed. This is going to do it for week 1. This was Co-op Info Share All Dungeons and Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 4. If you scroll up the chat just a bit, if you need more information on what's upcoming in the Invitational League or in the Open League, there are a couple of links for the SpeedGaming schedules for those. You can get onto the Discord for League and get more information out of there as well, or you can go to the League website at ALTTPRleague.com. Lots of ways to get the information. Of course, we will have more restreamed League matches coming up this week. Don't know what all of them are yet, but you can definitely go have that look-see at the schedule and find out for yourself. You can look at the general Speed Gaming schedule if you want to see what else is going to meet your Speed Gaming needs in the coming week. But yeah, I think we have kind of reached the end of this thing, haven't we?
Yeah, I think this is it. This has been a great, interesting first week. Nice open all dungeons mode and co-op, and looking forward to week 2, where we get to see both the Invitational and the Open Leagues doing FAD keys, where we do all dungeon key sanity with the Castle Tower keys being vanilla. So looking forward to many, many races next week.